Yo, what's up, fam? I'm with my boy Brent over here. Synchronistic meetup in AZ. Absolutely, like, insane day. But I want to talk to you guys. We were just going deep. And I want to talk to you guys about what got us into meditation and, like, how to really blast off and have fun with it. And that was when I started experimenting with psychic abilities. And that's what we were just talking about. Like,
talking about just telekinesis, telepathy, all of the different...
And shamans and tribal fires and incense. We're getting into it, but basically, I got really into meditation when I found out I can move side wheels with my hand. Okay, and like you guys should all try this. So, and
also,
then I
like check out the earlier videos.
Check out my earlier videos, like my first videos, right? This is what got me into this whole thing. Is like I can move shit with my hand, right? So I started finding out how to build that, how to uplift that, how to go deeper and deeper. And then I started experimenting with smoke, with wind, with Tai Chi and different martial arts and stuff. And it dove me into a whole world that I now exist within. And we were just talking about doing, like, his starting meditation was very similar.
Yeah.
And this correspondence made me make this video real quick. So let's tell him, Brent.
Okay, so around the same time when you were doing like your side wheel stuff, I was okay. So I'd been meditating prior to this
Go on.
I think it was a couple of years. I've just been doing like oming meditations and stuff, just like sitting and like kind of like working on just getting into like that flow, that energy.
Yeah. So wait, what made you first start meditation? Were you just kind of like interested in it?
Honestly, I'm trying to remember when I actually like, started meditation.
No, actually, let's just say when you first... Was this when you first got into it?
I mean, I've been into it since I was like 12. Like, okay. I've loved this type of stuff. But when I first like started seeing like next level, like kind of like results from it, was when when you were doing the sidewall thing, and I was like, you know, I hadn't thought about like that aspect of like really connecting yourself with what it is that you're like your environment, with everything that is you,
externalizing awareness, like that is me. I can move that, like exactly.
So I remember just like sitting there, and I'd do like an om or a mantra and whatnot, and just sit and then have the candle right in front of me, and I'd just stare at it and just become one with it. And start to like see how it would just like talk to me in thought. Yeah. And then just passive observance and see what that, I mean, that's like the whole thing with the side wheels. Like, it's not about trying to move it, it's about being with it and watching it. Yeah, and like it's almost like fire has a very interesting personality. Like, like it really does. Like, I
love that.
Like, fire's kind of sassy in a lot of ways. Like, but fire actually has like a specific weak point to it. And I don't think I would have ever like known this had I not like the brightest part. Is it the brightest part of the flame that's the weakest part? No. So for me, the weak point of the fire is right. So what happens is it pulls in energy. So it has like the feminine like absorption underneath, and it pulls up. Field. Yeah. And so right at that point underneath there, if you focus your intention on that, or if you like, even if you just take your hand and you just swing your hand like that, it'll put out the fire. Like literally a simple motion is that. Okay. Did you find that the strongest part of the flame was about an inch above a candle? So when I started doing like experimenting with candles, like I found that same thing that you did. Like, I thought it was the brightest part, but it was actually just below that. Now I realize is like I would focus on that and try to block that, right? And the candle would start flickering mad, right? Yep. It'll and depending on your thought, you can actually get it to do different frequencies. Which that's kind of fun trip in it. That's crazy, man. I never got to that point. But going so like I remember I actually went up to Flagstaff. Funny, like story wise. Because I like took like a random trip where I just was like, I'm going up to Flagstaff today, and like ride like just happened to show up and whatnot. So I got up to Flagstaff and I was hanging out with a friend of mine. There we go. Perfect. And he had a candle, and so I set the candle on one end of the room, and I went to the other end of the room. And sometimes with me, I'll have like languages just kind of pop up in my head, like out of nowhere. And so
very linguistic musically inclined. Like,
yeah, like in a way. And so I was just like, I'm just gonna let it flow.
Right?
Yeah, Pisces.
So you catch vibes.
Yeah, definitely vibes. Like, and as far as me, like, if I'm feeling someone's energy body, I will feel it on my own body.
Okay.
So when, like, if I see someone that has like this and this and this off, like, I will literally feel physical pain on my body.
Would you say it's more like emotional, or is it like more like a sense? Like it's
like an actual sense. Like,
okay,
I can physically be hurt if someone's like really fucked up.
Yeah. Like that, like watching movies, like when someone like gets stabbed or something, like I literally instantly like feel that within me. Like
so I was sitting on the other end of the room talking, and I noticed, like, if you're just speaking in English, fire won't really respond to it. But if you start, and it
sounds,
it has its own language, and like, and it's a very just like it's a dialect, and I don't think I can just like out of nowhere just like pull it. Like, there has to be a fire there, and I have to be trying to communicate to the fire.
So watching the feedback system,
and it'll dance to it, and it'll move.
Dude, this is awesome that you fucking. So I was just talking to a dude who lives in Georgia, and he's like, he basically explains that he's channeling an angelic language, right? So like when he's like meditating with the wind or meditating with a flame or something, like sounds come to him, right? And he like creates this language. And in all my research, like into the ancients and the mysteries, apparently language, I forget where I learned this, but language was created by shamans sitting around a fire and humming vibrations together, right? So it'd be like,
that totally makes sense to me.
Right, and it would all create this vibration and like build the vibration and watch the flames and see how the flames respond to it, right? And this gets into like the Hebrew language, like the original creation languages. There's 4, and it was the fire, earth, water, and air languages, right? And these languages were actually angelic languages 6,000 years ago, right? Okay. This is why the Hebrew words have been flipped, and actually the whole original Hebrew language is warped and like is torn apart, put backwards, and this is why the English language, all the angles.
Okay.
This is why like the etymology and shit is so crazy. Is that our vibration in each word should match the meaning and intent with those words, right? But we're speaking backwards right now. We're speaking backwards, okay? So our vibrations and our meaning and our intention are not aligned.
Dude, oh my God.
So like, you know how sounds make you feel a certain way? Like I once made a video about this. Certain sounds make you feel a different way. Certain sounds manipulate that flame in a certain way. Certain sounds move the air in a certain way, right? And if like a new angelic type language where the sounds are like known and in alignment, right? That would literally give way to the true Kabbalistic man, if you ever heard of this, where you create with language, right? So that's really cool.
And
just
so
like a side
leading
note
back to kind of like our earlier conversation where I was watching X-Men Apocalypse, and Apocalypse comes out and it's like all of this whole world is like false and everything, and then just starts speaking and is just like using the ancient tongues, and literally reality's bending before those words.
Yeah.
And so like
I'm at 5%. Hold on, let me charge. Go on, man.
And so it's funny, like the aspects of English being English and being like the language of the fallen angels, and like the aspect of like the descent in consciousness, and like I'm sure you've like learned about the Yuga cycles and like
and the Kali Yuga and then
the ages of consciousness and like how it all drops.
So like I've been doing tons of research about prophecies. This is a whole nother video, but the Mayans, the Hindus, the Celtics, and the like ancient Egyptians, the Greeks, like all their prophecies of all the mages, like all align. It's fucking nuts. But go on.
Oh well, I mean, duh, it all aligns. Yeah. Like it's all the same.
It's all
like,
based off the stars.
And
we were just talking about languages. You were gonna say something. I interrupted.
It's okay. It's not meant to be right now.
All right.
Like it'll come back, and so that's one of the things with me. Like so timing is everything. Like I don't know if you know. Like I'm sure you know that, but if any of you don't know that, like timing, there is a lot of power
in timing
when things hit.
I just went to a park and I was having a great day. It's the full moon today, right? And like this emotion came up when I was longboarding, like by myself, like I do like every day. And, like this emotion, like damn, I like wish I was like I had somebody, or like I feel like lonely or whatever. And like this time, like for the first time, I just like, no, I don't need that. Like I'm good. Like I don't need that, right? 5 minutes later, at the end of that path, right? Like I just like blocked out of the motion. I said, I'm just gonna have a good day. I don't care, right? I meet him and his like fiance, and we go look for rocks, and we just vibe super hard, having great conversations, and like, bang, instantaneous manifestation, and the timing's perfect. It's perfect for both of us in so many ways.
Oh yeah, like
right?
just with the way that things line up,
exactly.
The level of like freedom and
so like
it's just
yeah. If you're forcing anything, my friends, your timing is off. There's a time and a place for everything. There's a time and a place for everything, and the more free you can get, the more you can let go of, the more you can walk led by synchronicity. And like that's what led us both here. So
another thing is like trusting in that timing too, and like trusting in the process. Like trusting the process, the intuitions, the synchronicities that you see.
The fear instantly kills synchronistic moments, right? Like so like really, man, the next video I need to make is about spirit journeys, and like we were just talking about this. It's crazy, next level stuff, asking the universe for things. But do you have anything else to say about meditation and like psychic abilities? I really encourage all you guys to try chi work, because it really gets you deep into meditation. But go on.
I have a technique that anyone who's like starting out with meditation that they can do, that's pretty simple, pretty easy to like start off, that can kind of give you a lot of depth really quickly.
Yeah, let's go for it.
When you decide to go to sleep, if you decide to go to sleep, because I don't even think that's necessary, but if you decide to go to sleep, don't just like lay down and just be like, oh, consciousness off.
I've been doing this, like, that's so crazy, man.
So like,
go on.
You lay down and then you sit there and just watch your consciousness, watch what's happening, watch yourself build that reality. Because that aspect that you're doing right then, as you're going into your dream world, into those other planes of existence, is the same process that you take to get back into this existence.
Yep.
And so when you fall asleep, when you're going into sleep, when you're going into that state, watch it happen, watch everything get created, and then when you come back out of it, if you move right when you first wake up, you will not remember where you were at. So if you stay perfectly still as you're waking up,
observation of the whole process, like through and through. And
so once you've done that, then you'll start seeing, oh, okay, so I was in this, and now I've created this next day, this next reality that I'm walking into, and now I've let go of the level where I was here, where I was controlling these things, and now I've put that onto like a subconscious or externalized conscious form, where now I've delegated these aspects of reality to these things that I no longer want to take in my mind and be like, I have to control all this. Dude, like, no, I want to just live this day
my thoughts right now.
and enjoy this day. Like,
that's all. So like, that was so well said. That was so well said, and I hope you guys all caught that. The idea of observing the whole process of sleep through and through. And this triggered like two really keys that I've been thinking about lately. And the first one is the power of sleep, my friends. My friends, to alter your subconscious mind, to alter like really anything about who you are, it is done while you sleep. You can only input things, but it is ingested, digested, and integrated into you while you're sleeping. So when you're falling asleep and when you're waking up are the most sacred times of the day. They're the most sacred times, because when you're falling asleep, you just went through a whole day and you have a lot on your mind about like what you want, who you are, who you're becoming, like what's important, right? And you must kind of like get to the root of those things, get to the core of it, right? And integrate those into your dreams, right? The second thing of these three things I need to say, the second one is, my friends, consciousness never sleeps. Consciousness never turns off. Consciousness never dies, okay? So instead of being an unconscious person who just like throws his body anywhere, leaves the vehicle and like sees sleep as just like a turning off, right? Never remembers any dreams. They're probably too dense, too many metals in the brain to even think about that shit, right? But the highest levels of consciousness would be, okay, it's time to go to sleep now. But there is no turn off. There's no separation. You go from waking consciousness straight into dreaming consciousness lucidly, like all in one stream. When you wake up, you're coming out of a dream into this waking reality. There is no turn off. There's no separation there.
And so one of the things, like, especially when I was a little kid, like, every day, always daydreaming. Yeah. Like, especially being like a Pisces, like,
we share this in common.
I'm always in my own world. Like,
just like
and people
away.
Are like, dude, get back to reality. And I'm like, what reality are you in?
We're
like,
spacebound.
Like, there's so much more that you could be doing. And it's like, I see what you mean by saying that as reality. Yeah. But there's a lot that you could be doing.
Yeah. And like realities they've never even gotten close to tapping into. That's very true.
And so with that aspect, when you kind of learn that, like, realistically, like, wake up in this dream that we're in right now. Like, we are literally dreaming right now. Yes. And the fact that people think that you're awake, that no, like, awake. Maya Jen Abaddon actually did a video on this.
Isn't awake isn't that a funeral? Awake, right? Isn't it?
I don't know.
Go on.
As far as that, but the prefix a normally means like the opposite of. So, and look at Maya Jen Abaddon's video. Yeah. I don't know if you've watched any of his stuff recently.
Yeah.
He does one like talking about hitting on this kind of thing, but like it's spot on. Just with the fact of, like, if you think you're awake, if you think that this is more real than any of the other realities that you're traveling to all the time, whether you're conscious of it or not.
Let's do something really quick. So my friends, we're dreaming within a dream, okay? Our dream is like our life and our drama and our problems and this catastrophe or this happiness, right? Our dream here. The bigger dream is the world, is this dream that's being projected, like, in unison. So let's wake up, meaning let's open our eyes to a world that is not defined, that is not a consensus reality, it's not some kind of programmed thing. So, like, it's really crazy. You can have spontaneous, like, LSD trips by doing this, and that is, like, basically you close your eyes and, like, you breathe for a second, right? And you imagine that you were just teleported into a new world. Like, we were just teleported into a brand new reality, right? You're an alien, you know nothing, right? And you're about to open your eyes. And when you see something, you're going to open it as if you're opening your eyes for the first time. So, like, I would open my eyes looking down at the grass, and I'd be like, whoa, right? I wouldn't even know what the color green is. This is new to me. Like, what is this clover, right? And you would, like, feel it and, like, smell it. And then you'd, like, look around, and you'd be very, like, calm, just in awe and wonder, right? And, like, if you guys go into this and, like, really, like, this is trying to break down definitions and, like, labels in our mind, which hold us in a consensus reality, right? And go beyond it into the real experience. And, like, you'll see things you've never seen. Like, our brain's a filter. It's not a processor. It's a filter. You know what I mean? Let's get past the filter. But anyway, go on.
So kind of one of the things that you were hitting on. So what I noticed, even when you're describing this, so it's like you can open your eyes and spontaneously be into an acid trip or be in this point where you remove your labels, you remove definitions of things. But the fact of, like, okay, well, this is still a clover to me, so I haven't removed this label in my mind.
Okay, well, anyway, hell yeah. That was a good talk with Brent here. Oh, and the very last thing I wanted to say about the sleep-wake thing, what he was getting at, observing the experience as if you're not really there. My friends, try to acquire this mentality, this intention all the time, okay? Whenever you're in pain or in great pleasure, right? Instead of, oh, I'm hurting, or like getting lost in the sensation, getting lost in the emotion, getting lost in the feeling, observing it. Pain is not good nor bad, okay? Emotions are not good nor bad. Pleasure is not good nor bad. And if we can learn to actually observe these things as the consciousness behind the experience, right? Then we can see what those things are telling us. You see, all things hold a message. All things hold a message. But if you are lost in the pain, the pleasure, the hate, the greed, the want, the need, right? You cannot take the message, but you get lost in the substance of it, okay? So like observe things, observe going to sleep, observe waking up, observe being sad, observe being happy, and you will see how these are all guiding you to a great fucking place. So anyway,
another thing, just real quick on observation, the next thing that you consume, whether that's this video or a drink of water
or breath of air,
whatever, breath of air, watch how that changes your awareness.
There you go.
And follow that journey.
Well, shit, that was my brother Brent, and that was a great talk. We've been talking for hours at this point, and we're going to continue on.
We're going to.
Drop any questions that you were interested in, and we'll get right back to you. Anyway, peace out, guys. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.